Welcome back to the Ti10 group stage. We've got OG versus T1, which I think is a pretty hype matchup. So we brought on a special guest. Aiden, welcome.
Hello.
When you guys were talking about the whole win condition, I get they can play this ball and they're going to be able to, okay, they're running around as 5 or whatever, but ultimately T1, aren't they just going to naturally outscale?
I think interesting things to look for is Kuku going to go Midas? It'll tell a lot about the game. And then what will Mag build? Is he going to go for some Blink route, like Tread's Blink, or is he going to go into some Echo Saber?
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of overlap in the T1 heroes about how they want to farm and control the map. Like, both Mag and Dusa kind of want to farm Ancients. And how they decide to distribute that is going to be interesting to me.
No-Tail using his strength as a Legion Commander level 1 to try and snipe away the boundary and doesn't get that. Puts a little damage onto Zephyr and Kuku.
And bottom lane, like, I think you're going to be pretty happy with this. Like, Doom just kind of farms against Tiny, right? Like, I don't see him dying to LC Tiny lane.
No, I think he's going to be fine in the lane. I think...
oh, he's got him! That's first blood! Zaxa commits for it! Oh, no. 23 Savage thought the Fairy Fire was going to be good enough, but because he was caught in the brambles, it was too much damage.
The necessity of taking a Tinker's Towers to obtain map control, how in the hell are you going to do that if you've lost all 3 lanes? You know, T1 not out of this, but OG are certainly in control. Nice tree toss there.
No-Tail, is he going to be burnt out? He will, and Zephyr is going to survive. Over the side, Carl having to skewer away, picked up the Invis rune, so should be okay. Whitemon. Carl, he might go for it. He will. RP underneath the tower, still has a shockwave ready to go, and that is just enough to get the kill onto Seb. Thompson takes a little bit of damage on his way out as well. Quite a bit of damage, in fact. So nice pickup for Carl. Good use of his first RP.
Oh no! Thompson just TP'd to, he accidentally TP'd. I guess it actually doesn't matter at all, but he TP'd to the tier 1 and then just King Conveyances back to base. So I guess it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. He had a TP scroll, so more and more together. Force them further and further into their own side of the map.
Oof! That was just a bit too much damage for Carl. Didn't expect that. They still have the Siege Wagon alive too, so they can do a lot in this mid lane.
Darkness pop top as well. Savage.
Running him down. They're going to try and TP in to bail him out, but it's not going to be good enough. It's a Tidehunter ultimately. He doesn't provide a stun to stop Seb. He just keeps running him down.
So T1's going to hit their timing around 10 minutes. It's going to be daytime, and both their supports are hopefully going to be level 6 around then. And that's when they're going to be able to fight back. For now, they're just like kind of trying to get as much as they can out of the map until they get 6 supports.
Come on. Got to get a run over here. You're not going to allow this support to be able to sit in and soak up whatever creeps push in. T1 scout out the stacks here, but not much they can do about that ancient stack.
Tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm curious, so I've not seen Seb do this in a while. He used to do it on...
Savage needs some help. He's dead. He is out of mana. They're going to TP in now. Maybe Carl can actually bail him out. Not in time. He might be able to get the kill onto Seb, pulls him back in with the RP. He's going to get stunned, but the tower might be able to finish off the job. Zephyr, we can maybe get him with a fire. Oh, getting cleansed just at the right time. Dives forward. A couple more fire spirits. The Sunray going out, but it get canceled by the Void. Carl had that haste rune from the bottom, and that is going to be enough to be able to get that kill.
If there's no haste, he just lives there.
Oh, look at Carl!
Vanguard.
He knew that Tinker was doing the smoke laser trick on the Ancient stack, and he's going to take the last 4 of the Ancients.
This is huge for them. This is slowing down OG's timing a lot, and it gives them the gold they need. But the hero that we have not talked about at all is Tiny, and he's just farming out of his mind.
True.
Oh, no, he was so close to 6 there. He would have got a easy duel, but yeah, it's a good point for Maiden because Sumel's just untouched. He's going to have Echo Saber complete and on the way 10 minutes into the game. Now is the time. Tinker has a Blink Dagger, trying to make moves.
Hitting Kuku. They catch him in a bramble. I think he would definitely die, as is. The fear might still be enough. The burst damage is so much. If he gets out of vision, maybe he survives. Tinker Thompson does not want to chase that down. Kuku will survive. Huddling back in the trees. He really is just trying to soak up experience. He's going to show himself, trying to keep Seb from tanking the tower, but he's going to make sure the Siege Wagon stays alive. They're going to bring in the Doom for this one. Seb, they're going to be able to get the Doom off on him, so they're not going to be able to get out the Darkness first. He is going to get a bit of a bumper and heal, but the rest of T1 have already sandwiched in. He's dead.
Yeah, but that's Doom down. This is a timing for OG now to try to make some move. I think this is kind of expected for them. Sneaky ward from Zephyr there. Scouts out everything.
Under attack.
No tail's coming. He's going to dive away and is very likely going to die anyway. I don't think he wants to pop Supernova, but at the same time, if he doesn't, he's also feeding away. Dual damage to No Tail. Mid lane, looks like they managed to catch Zoxa. It is going to be another one of those big cooldowns that you were talking about, this time for just 4 position. And a whole bunch of heroes showing as well.
How strong is Tiny like in the Medusa matchup?
Yeah, I mean T1's just banking on like we're gonna outfarm you over time. You guys might win some fights in the early game, but we're just gonna try to get as much gold as possible.
They're gonna get the Brambles immediately, try and get the silence on a 23 Savage before the Stone Gaze, and they did get it. The Supernova is not gonna be enough clearance. They throw out the Ravage as well, clipping some heroes. Sure, they're gonna be able to bring back No Tail to his death, but OG, they still have plenty of firepower left with 2 big cooldowns down. They're just going to keep on going. They get the vision. Whitemon is dead, and they can still scout out some more. Thompson's, he could just keep on chasing like this. Good read by Carl. Got hit by a Void, immediately teleported out, knowing that they were out of stuns. Cuckoo, the really big kill. They get Thompson. Thompson is doomed. They're burning him out right now, but they can't actually keep any heroes on top of him. Is anybody going to be able to get there? Zoxa, he's going to die. Traded out for Zephyr, and it looks like Thompson will survive through this Doom. It is not enough damage.
That was huge. He had, that was like literally just as it was off cooldown, Doom.
Yeah.
I've played in this sort of game as well, where
Doom's in trouble.
Cuckoo is going to be real quickly bursted down between the combination of this trio. Fast kill, and Thompson can just be anywhere else on the map he wants to. Pops the Darkness now, and immediately goes for the silence onto the Tidehunter. Supernova goes down, so Seb immediately knocked back down, slowed down rather, can still fly into the trees, but he's going to be hit by Carl. RP down to low ground. Nice fear going out, but the Ravage is going to be able to catch Seb and stall the rest of OG just a little bit. Not enough for Whitemon to survive. No, he actually doesn't get hit by that tree. 23 Savage, lost most of his mana, but OG just a little bit too spread apart here, didn't focus down one hero.
just gonna stay on enemy jungle. Push him out. Toss.
Yeah, he certainly got him.
Yeah, this is the trouble, because with cooldowns down, you see nothing. And suddenly, duel. Yeah.
Duel. Not that it matters too much for a 5 position, but hey, more duel damage.
Yeah, but like suddenly the lead is 6K, because in these moments, you know, Medusa's just not farming anything.
Make sure that they're not farming there. They drop some sentries and some wards. Now they are going to keep track of it, and eventually they're going to zone them in, and then they know where they are, and they can just pick them off like this. They know there's no fight back until Ravage and Egg are up. They know they're not going to get contested.
Yeah, the support duo of T1, like that's what they have with no cooldowns.
Are scanning.
Echo Saber for Seb, and look how deep they're playing.
As you said, tempoing up. The Supernova's going to go down. They're actually going to go for the egg here, and it is going to die. But maybe they can catch some of these heroes while they're right next to the tier 3. Oh, the duel before the skewer. He knows he was going to die either way, most likely. So if he goes into the base, so he might as well duel, draw out some time, and will eventually die, but allows the rest of his team to go wherever they want.
Space created.
That was a lot of space.
TPing in to bottom lane. The Night Stalker is cutting the wave behind here. Doom shows up. Doesn't want to doom the Tiny. It looks like the Darkness sees the Tidehunter TPing in as well. Actually cancel that and back up. Looks like they're giving up this tier 2 tower. Between the Darkness damage and the Tiny damage, it'll fall pretty quickly here.
So the only thing T1 really has going here is that they're going to have a very long daytime, and I think they're closing in on finishing items on Carl and 23 Savage to be able to at least take a fight.
Yeah.
So this next team fight is going to be really important. I think the coordination between the Ravages and...
Dude, look at them! Tier 3, that doesn't mean much to them apparently. If they can keep the vision, maybe the Tinker can finish them off with rockets. Not quite good enough. Seb had to back away, and slight heal from the Phoenix is good enough.
You actually have items, and it's finally the time of the game. Maybe you can look to force the team fight. Shard up on both Tiny and LC.
Darkness going to be popped here as they look to be able to finish off Roshan, zoned down by the Brambles as well. They're just keeping these heroes back while Roshan falls. Aegis picked up for Samael, and T1 very likely just going to have to back away.
That was really nice from Seb and Soxa, though. They just cut him off with the choke.
Yeah, they had very nice positioning there, where they were positioned far enough to where their smoke doesn't pop, but close enough to where they see them if they're trying to run down the ramp.
I know that was also right before the BKB timing of Cuckoo, which is probably a big reason why T1 was also so hesitant about trying to get to that Roshan pit right away.
And you can see they spam the Night Stalker missing because Darkness is on cooldown. It's daytime. So they know this is a window for them to...
Carl's going to get caught here, and Sumail does a lot of damage. They immediately RP him. Cuckoo, nice fear coming out from Soxa. Catches Cuckoo as he TPs in. One core pickoff turns to two, and add a support into the mix. OG trampling all over T1 now.
So this is really smart. They put the brambles down, and if you watch how Sumail's standing, he's positioning himself in a way where it's hard to blink in to get the skewer back.
Yep. Carl, he had to try and blink around the bramble and skewer through it, and wasn't able to find the opening.
And basically what happens there is, of course, like, he understands that he can't blink into the bramble, so he's going to have to reposition himself. But that gives Sumail more time to see the mag under his vision, come in and like try to position himself correctly, which makes it easy for him to get that toss off, because he sees him running towards him to blink in.
Yeah, it's just so funny watching Sumail play this style. He just tranquil soul ring, shard, spamming.
Yeah, Notail's feeling himself.
Sumail running headlong in and is immediately popping the press the attack shard from the Legion Commander, easily dealing with any of those stuns. 23 Savage may actually just be dying here. They know he's in trouble. They're going to pop the Supernova. The Ravage too. They barely catch the Tinker, but it's not enough. They can't actually skewer him, that's for certain. They've been feared away. Zephyr, he's going to be dying.
Still couldn't get the auto attack off. The combo was enough. Seb came in for the finish, and now they solar crest him. Like, this is just the thing. Tiny has become a lone druid bear, if not better.
Yeah, stronger at this point. Yes, OG, they don't seem to struggle at all. Like, even though T1 now had the chance to fight back, they just seem to be commanding these teamfights exactly the way they want them to go.
It's too much damage. Like, T1, I think, kind of have to start a fight, but like, very difficult with absolutely no vision.
Skewer RP combination, and even then, a whole lot of kiting. And I still don't know how they're going to be able to deal with that Tinker. Sumail down to half health, but that'll be easily fixed thanks to Notail.
Yeah, I feel like the problem here is, like, even if OG decide to back off, which I don't think they are, there's just no way that T1 are breaking out of base. The map is so small for them. They're not getting more items than they have right now, so this is going to be their best opportunity of finding a good fight.
One more minute left on the Aegis. Sumail is just going to force things here on a second lane of barracks. Missiles forcing T1 back to base, thanks to the, again, the advantage of nighttime vision. They're going to have to smoke just to be able to get close to a good initiation on OG here.
Have they, just to confirm, their chat wheels, they added those emojis manually, right?
Yeah. You can customize that.
Next level.
Bouncing lasers all around. Cuckoo is losing health fast, trying to get away. The BKB still holding on to that Doom and playing around the Supernova. They're going to have to go for a reset again here. They took away the Aegis at least. Thompson, okay. Really wanted to be able to get that Cuckoo kill, and he is going to get... not Doom Port. They need it.
They're just getting the Mega Creeps, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to try, but they're immediately going to go back in here. Carl does manage to try and go for the skewer, actually. Notail defends himself with the press the attack. Seb playing on the highlights here as he's going to go for the kill onto the Tidehunter, trying to prevent the Ravage that is just now coming up. Skewer over onto Soxa here. Soxa, he still has the RP. They have to be careful of this, but they actually do help Soxa get out. So many brambles, now silence. Carl's in trouble. Sumail is here to finish him off. The Ravage comes just a bit too late. They might be able to finish off Seb. They will, but it's going to be costing them 2 at least. Now they get the duel off, but Sumail, he's just going to keep on swinging on these heroes. They are getting torn apart by 23 Savage and kited around a little bit. Sumail has nowhere to go, so he's just going to commit for the kill on a Cuckoo continue challenging. 23 Savage is up next. Now the Doom is faded away, so he can throw out the Avalanche, and Jesus, ultra kill. Rampage on the way for Sumail. The king is big and back in play here at TI. Rampage for Sumail, and T1 are not going to call it just quit. They're going to be able to double rampage for him. Give him the triple, perhaps. Soxa helping him out, trying to keep Cuckoo in place here, and T1 are going to call it here. They get the kill on Soxa first.
Triple?
And that is it. Triple rampage. Sumail finally gets it.
Woo!
OG dominating T1 here in game 1. In what was, I think we all kind of agreed from the get-go, this was questionable. Well, specifically with these two,
Yeah.
they can play it either way.
Okay,
Like they're
great. So they
very
swap the
comfortable
lanes
in being
around.
able to
I see.
swap lanes. So
I see.
which would you rather have the Jakiro as a ranged hero against Monkey King?
So something
so.
OG can do that's really cool is they can put Legion Commander with the Monkey King in the off lane, and then Slark in the safe lane where they have 2 purges, so Jakiro no longer has a good lane.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody who's tuning in and maybe doesn't watch a ton of Dota, can you guys break down very simply what are the strengths
The battle
of
begins.
T1's lineup and what are they looking for compared to OG?
Okay, so I think T1, in order to win this game, they need to do well in the lanes, and then they need to use the advantage they get in lanes to stop OG from running at them. Because OG is going to hit a timing similar to the last game, where T1 is trying to farm the Vengeful Ags, they're trying to get Storm's items, and they're trying to farm up the Troll.
He
He's
knows
trying to
he's
slide
gonna go for the slight steal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's...
Oh,
and
wow.
he's gonna go get the double bounty, or the double
Beautiful.
water rune. That is very smart by
top.
Carl. Let's see if he actually wins through this with a flame guard pulling him back in. He's gonna be able
Oh
to
my
take out the... Oh!
Does
If
he
he runs
win
into
this
the
trade?
second remnant, it'll go away. Oh, we missed out on first blood as a
cares?
result, but this fight is so fun.
That. Oh man. That was like a what's the Eastwood movie? The Standoff.
Samael keeps on going. They actually trade supports, but Samael has racked up some serious stats. Is going to be able to get the double kill in this lane. So T1 may have gotten the lanes that they thought they wanted, but ultimately lost that bottom one.
Oh, and he had 20 stick too, so he's just full HP flame. That was so cool. They just sat there for 3
Yeah.
seconds. So good. If either player blinks, they probably get the kill, maybe straight up win the lane, but
Yeah.
nobody did.
Yeah.
Bringing 23 Savage to the top lane. Looks like they no longer want to play out this bottom one with Samael getting so big. They're going to try and run down Seb. Seb nicely positions himself to be able to get multiple stuns. They managed to hit him a couple times. He's still bleeding out on damage, but the dual breath didn't hit him, so they have to get a little bit more. Finally, they get the magic missile, and that'll finish him off.
That was just like he mischief dodged the auto attack.
Yeah.
That you saw him start the animation of
Right.
jumping into tree, but got hit just before. That was pretty
That was
nice.
extremely close.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought he was going to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, Seb, still impressive. You know, one eye, boomer fingers. He's still got it.
Like, all the OG cores are managing quite fine, and I think these kills bottom really bumped Samael up.
Oh, hey, Soxa. It's me, Carl. I've got a double damage rune. Third kill for T1.
Would have preferred if they let Carl grab it. I think he got a little, he just didn't stop, cancel the attack he had, right? That's the hero we're concerned about T1 finding an answer to.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean,
Oh, he's going to jump after him. Thompson. He's got that remnant left. The damage through
Oh!
was not enough, and Carl got the last hit there with the DD. Very nice.
Attack.
These two playing up against each other mid is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think they learned from the first game, right? They want to be able to play pace. Like, they want to be able to match whatever OG does.
Yeah. Still not dealing with Samael, who currently has 4,000 net worth, when the second highest is still Thompson at 3. They're going to rotate in the Storms here, though. Carl trying to look for a big win here in the top lane, and this pace is going to net them probably 2 kills here, as both the supports on OG will fall.
Yeah, this does, however, mean that Ember gets a free rune, so let's see what he can do with that response.
We'll see. Everybody's beelining for them. Top's going to get controlled by OG. Of all the runes, man.
Here comes the response move.
Oh, Carl, he's not afraid, even with Thompson here. He says, okay, probably don't have chains. Not really in much danger here. Thompson going to make use of that arcane rune to make sure he's going to survive here. Seb going to receive a helping hand here, a bit of a purge. Dealing with that Jakiro, which is going to be a constant problem for him. Zephyr is going to be run down by the Ember Spirit.
He knows the radius of this remnant so well. Like, he's just dancing around it like it's a landmine. He's bottom lane.
Yeah, if your team plays the way OG does, you genuinely don't need a minimap as a carry player.
Yeah, those are called inside jokes, guys. You got to give context to the viewer. You say, we've criticized them. You didn't say it on broadcast. So what are you guys talking
Well,
about?
we've been joking about it the last couple of days that if Sumail had an option to hide minimap,
And then Samael didn't, and then William was like, Samael, use your minimap. It's good. and then we all started naming him.
And then it's just set in stone. Carl's out of mana. Oh, well, actually, he does have 6 magic wand charges, so he's kind of baiting him in a little bit for one last jump away, and that jump is far enough. Samael trying to catch him midway through. 23 Savage right in the middle of all of these heroes. Samael not too afraid of him, as after, oh, he's going to be at swap back. 2 seconds, he doesn't actually have his ult. Oh no, Samael. T1 realized they made a grave error. Seb is going to be able to get off a good ultimate though, and in return, 23 Savage has overextended himself and received tips from OG.
That is unfortunate. I think 23 said it best. Sumail, a bit of a blunder there. I think he was trying to like catch the storm mid-zip almost, but as you said, the mana was enough to get him out. And then Savage just kind of returns the favor.
I think the storm went too far. Like I didn't expect him to be able to jump that far, so he must have had a soul ring that's another NC coming.
Yeah, between Soul Ring and I think it was 6 magic wand charges.
Yeah.
Whitemon almost dying there. Thompson still playing the edges, looking for that last light. They are going to be able to get a nice overgrowth, lock him down with the Ice Path followed up. Thompson instead. Samael may just fall again if they can somehow get in front of him. They've got to swap. Samael's going to show. There it is. Swap back, stunned while the Dark Pact is down. And T1 holding their ground, holding the line around the Tier 1 tower, winning these fights.
And this goes back to what we talked about earlier, right? If you let T1 fight, if you let them play to their limits, you put them in a position where they're allowed to play Dota, they're a fantastic team. And they're showing that here. They're holding their own against OG. I think OG, when it came to the macro and like the decision making and understanding how to execute their drafts, that's really been their strength. And I think when OG's forced to play these micro decision making games, that's when they sometimes tend to suffer.
No, it's a really good point because like this game, there's no huge like strategical advantage or edge OG can lean on. They've just got to ball out. Like they just got to play Dota and hope the best.
They're going to pop out, but at the same time, T1 did smoke over, so this is going to be a full-out team fight where Carl is going to target down the Rubik first. They're going to be able to get on Thompson as well. No root just yet. Slide into a chain out. They're going to be able to get away on him. The core survived. The supports will die.
It's so hard to play into Jakiro Tree. Like you just see, you know, maybe in the past you had experience.
Are you saying like just OG thinks that this game is going fine, but that's not actually the case, or what?
I think OG are happy because they're in control. They're setting the pace of the game, and I think that's what they want to be doing. And they know that as long as it's like the game is on them to mess up. They know that T1's going to respond to them. They just need to predict in what way they're going to do it and then react to what's happening. And I think as T1, you don't feel good because you're always playing the response game to the enemy team. You're not like if you notice, trolls in every engagement. Every time we move our camera somewhere, there's a troll there, and he's being poked, he's being harassed. But Carl is balling out of control. So I mean, Carl is feeling himself for sure. He's enjoying this thoroughly.
Now, you say they won't feel good reacting all the time. Is that just like a general rule, or do like some players or teams prefer reacting to the enemy making movement? Okay, so T1 has to parry perfectly every single time. And we haven't seen them slip up yet.
No, exactly. I think what T1's doing is like perfect, but OG also are aware of that. Like, it needs to keep going this way for them.
Yeah, and I love when you even
caught him. Whitemon quickly killed T1. Or actually, they stole Macropire on Soxa. That's a big pickup.
Like Sumail, he went for the Dark Pact cooldown, and it's because he's just kind of the win condition. And like Aiden is saying, like his deaths are kind of on him.
And swapping Monkey out of
and Aghanims doesn't give charges to the Slark. In addition, it's like 2 lives, right? So you can just be this frontliner that your team kind of needs, plus damage steroid for the troll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, stolen Macropire. That's actually going to do enough damage to be able to quickly kill Carl. Great play from Soxa and Samael, and a big pickup too. 599 bounty for Carl.
The sentry, was that just, he didn't have vision of the Slark because he got close? Now, do they have the root?
Not going to go for it here. Cuckoo does have this. Oh, he actually doesn't have the Aghanims just yet. The overgrowth just off the mark there. Little awkward. 23 Savage not able to catch up to Thompson. It's just this trio that is forcing a pretty big response out of T1, but the Aghs is now here for Cuckoo.
You can easily position yourself behind them, and if the enemy team doesn't respond to these players, they're just going to get so much out of the map.
Nice long jump from Carl is going to be able to catch. Oh no, Soxa caught him with the telekinesis and stole ball light. Former team experiences.
I'm just here for the Dota cap. It's nice to watch good players at the best of their abilities.
Long jump over. Seb going to be caught, but immediately there is going to be the purge coming out from No Tail, but they still can keep going. Duel going out, just trying to keep the storm in place, but it's going to be a duel that is actually not won, just ever so barely. Turns around, nice stun, but And mana, okay, they don't want to chase any longer, and it's probably for the best.
Love Seb's builder. He had the Echo Saber queued up initially, but I think Mage Slayer, even as the offlaner, is just the right choice. It's something I love about OG is that they're always getting these items that are right for the game to help out the heroes that count. In this case, it would be the Slark.
I'm interested to see how this Mage Slayer plays out.
Oh,
Nice jukes.
jukes out of the magic missile. Thinking about pursuing here, especially with the Stormsphere being chased away there a bit. He can come back to join this team fight perhaps, and they're going to be able to hit a nice two-man stun. Cuckoo may be the first to die, but remember he's got that extra life. Throws out a magic missile, keeping Sumail back. T1 do a pretty good job. They do have BKB on the troll, so they might be turning this. BKB, there it goes. Who's he going to target? They swap back in No Tail, which is who they want to be able to gun for. They finally get off the ultimate. And Sumail, he doesn't have any mana. They lock him down, finish him off. Nicely played by T1. 50 seconds, he's dead for T1, turning on a dime. They're so good at kiting team fights back and re-engaging.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for OG, it's not about the carry killing the other carry. It's more about how can you kill out the supports.
Yeah.
I think both the supports of T1 have been doing a great job of knowing their limits and surviving on this sliver of health.
Oh, they managed to catch him, but there is going to be the defensive swap. 23 Savage is going in. He's going to try and deal with Thompson first, but a stolen swap from Sox is going to be able to get him out, but the Overgrowth catching Sumail again while the Dark Pack was down. Cuckoo dies, but immediately comes back as a Spirit, catching Seb, swapping him out of his own ultimate and keeping him in place. 23 Savage is keeping the rest at bay, and his team can deal with leftover behind Seb and go straight for Roche.
And then there's an Ice Path on 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Like, Sumail doesn't do damage.
Something very interesting that Zephyr also did this game is he maxed out Leech Seed. OG now, I think they're going to have to try to split them up. They're going to have to force these heroes out of position and force like multiple initiations at once. They have the tools to do it. They just got to be able to like get the Ember going on one target, get the Slark in on another, because if they're all balling down on the same hero, it's just going to be swapped resets.
Yeah, one nice pick off. The BKB from Thompson is caught by the Overgrowth from Zephyr. Still has decent amount of magic immunity time, but is it going to be enough to be able to get him out of this hell as T1 surrounding him with so many heroes, and he's out of remnants. He is out of HP too. Double kill for Carl.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've weathered the storm, so to speak. Like, OG needed to take control and take control early. And there's still absolutely hope, but they gotta play these fights more.
23 Savage was very far forward, and OG looked to be able to potentially punish him. Not going to be able to get the immediate duel. The swap from Sox is still stolen and still managed to get out No Tail. Pounds forward, Sumail does manage to get on top of the support, so there is going to be Whitemon down. An important member of T1 to be able to stay alive in these team fights. A swap back in, managed to get the duel. 23 Savage gets the duel off. Sumail keeping him inside of the Wukong's command, where he will die there. OG finally managed to win a team fight, a big one at that, where they get 3, and Carl thought maybe they could turn around onto Seb, but Seb does have Sumail right behind him, so even if they do manage to kill this Monkey King, they may be losing both of them here as...
Stun, and I think Carl might be in trouble now as well.
Yeah, they're going to be able to catch both of them. They do manage to finish off Seb, which was what the original trap was laid for, but it doesn't matter.
Dude, 53 stacks on Sumail now. He has 212 bonus agility.
Sumail, he still's got some stats going, and he's not slowing down whatsoever. These pounces are staying on top of these supports. They cannot seem to get away. Swap back in, No Tail. Now he's in an awkward position. They're going to jump on a 23 Savage, turns around, bops a BKB before the stun can come in for the Monkey King, but again, he's going to retreat with that BKB. No, he's not. He's going to finish off Sumail. Turns around real quick, blows him up, does manage to get the swap back in, and 23 Savage heals up just a little bit. Can he finish off Seb before and stay alive? He does. Thompson's going to commit. Trying to finish off 23 Savage, does get that one. With the BKB, might be able to get 2 here as Zephyr. Just one slide away from dying. Actually does die to Soxa. Chaining up 2, TPing out, doesn't leave a remnant behind.
No mana for the pull. I will say I would also love, because we both play, oh hang on.
Oh,
Thompson.
hold up. Nice.
Not going to be able to get away. Maybe his Spirit can get out, as they do have the Train Protector on the way. Yeah, they're kind of realizing they're not going to go for the Spirit at all. In fact, if anything, they may be swapped back into Doom here. Seb, going to be silenced. Carl not fully committing to this one, though. They haven't seen the Slark just yet. Cuckoo, he's going to try and start backing away. Thompson's looking for some of these heroes. Sumail pounces forward. He's going to go for Whitemon here. Starts stealing some of those stacks. tries to stick on top of him and should be able to get that kill on the right-hand side. Thompson does catch the other support at the same time. That's going to be Zephyr. But at the same time, Sumail has to be careful here, especially with the Cuckoo. His Spirit is going to get burned out, but he could buy back if he wants to and rejoin this fight as a full-out hero. No longer the case. No longer an option. T1 will retreat, giving this fight to OG.
The LC shard is so good because that BKB time gives you those extra seconds to almost always have Dark Pact back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I thought Sumail had overextended once again, but No-Tail this time was ready to save.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Oh, we got it!
Does manage to get the pounds. The team is coming in, but it's too late. Carl's already dead. Double damage of Sumail made short work of Carl and OG. They could just keep going. We certainly are going to be looking for somebody here. Zephyr not spotted, it seems.
Carl has buyback though. Would not be surprised to see him use it.
Yeah, considering how aggressively T1 is positioned, even though they're missing their mid laner, Seb, he sees this. He's spotting some heroes right now. Swap back into the ice path. That's a good hold, but he did not manage to get it in. Snare out. The troll did not get lucky, and Cuckoo will die for what he thought was going to be an Ember Spirit kill. Pounce through the Spirit, doesn't actually latch on top of him. And that is going to be the Spirit being gone as well. I can't believe T1 tried that. It was a risk, and it was not a calculated one, I think.
And then make a play based off that.
Oh, grabs the double
Yes,
damage and managed to get the pounce. Then it's going to force out the swap from Cuckoo and probably get him killed as he's pulled back in by the telekinesis. His Spirit will manage to get out at least.
No
but
buyback though.
Yeah.
However, yeah, who cares, right? You're still in the game. Sumail's being a lot more disciplined as well though with the ultimate usage. It's now preemptive, which I think has been key.
The Storm Spirit had to go all the way back to Fountain, so may not be here unless he wants to make a real gun at it and go for a long, long zip. Keeping the vision inside. Sumail's double damage is going to wear out. Storm's going to start TPing on to the outpost. Thompson is in. Thompson's going straight up for those supports. Sumail, not sure where he's gunning to, but 23 Savage is a little bit isolated here. Cuckoo's trying to keep pace to make sure he can swap back 23 Savage to get him away from Sumail, while Seb is scaring back the rest of these heroes. Thompson's going to be able to finish off Zephyr. That's going to be first. 23 Savage looks at Seb. Carl commits with the Aghanim Scepter, pulling them both in, but inside of that Monkey King ultimate, they don't feel great. Again, the stolen swaps coming out from Saksa is going to be able to keep his cores feeling good and feeling aggressive. As the telekinesis tossed back, chained up together, toss, duel, going out, No-Tail, they turn around quickly, kill him, winner, and Carl gets away before Sumail can hunt him down, but Sumail doesn't kill. He's going to be able to go for the supports and may still be able to catch Carl. Carl, no mana, Sumail bounced on top of him, they catch him, 4 dead on the side of T1, and now Roshan is going to go the way of OG.
So this team fight, I don't see any other player than Thompson doing this. But you notice how we just straight up into no vision, and they get this team fight where there's like basically 4 fights going on at once. Thompson's chasing supports. You have Sumail chasing 23 Savage, and you're forcing T1 to not be able to use that swap to just save whoever's getting initiated on. There are only so many spots that they could be hiding in.
Now it's an Arcane. He also
And the 25
talented-
talent, right?
Yeah, he talented totally for Searing Chains as well. So you're just going to see him zipping back and forth, spamming chains.
Here we go.
Cuckoo did still manage to get the swap, but 23 Savage can't hit him right now. Sumail, his ultimate was used, still has the Depth Shroud. They're going to turn around and start doing some damage with a pull in onto Carl. They do something to Sumail, but he's going to be popping his BKB. 23 Savage responds in kind here. Cuckoo's going to fall, Spirit Form now.
Huge root.
They do manage to get the nice lockdown. Macropire going out. The Ice Path can actually lock down, but Thompson Refresher. BKB still potentially up. Chase for Carl doesn't actually quite get him. Meanwhile, 23 Savage is just being kited around and ripped apart by the rest of OG. Now with no carry, T1, they're very likely going to be dying here unless Carl could do something magical by himself, but he just doesn't have it in him. Doesn't have level 25, nor the shard.
Wow.
GG is called. OG will take the second game here against T1. T1 definitely putting up a much better fight, but you gotta think back to that moment. 23 Savage just way overconfident in his positioning, not respecting perhaps OG's aggression enough, and I feel like that's going to come back to haunt him, because this has been a story that has been there for 23 Savage for what has been a relatively young career. Last 2 years.